Good morning. Hi, Emma. Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Ah, that's interesting. My sound is definitely picking.
Ow.
Hey, hello.
Hey.
Hi, Emma.
Fine. Where are you?
In Los Angeles.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's the morning here. Normally when I'm with you, it's the evening.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Uh-huh.
10 o'clock in the morning, bright and breezy. How are you, Emma?
Fine. Yes.
Lovely to see
Very
you.
busy, but fine.
Happy to hear it. And Fiona, hi. Good morning.
Hi. Hello there.
Oh, you look lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Lovely to
I'm
see.
going out for dinner later, which is why,
Oh,
not
no,
that I wouldn't, do my hair for you or anything, but
that's lovely. Where are you going?
going to the Ivy in St Albans.
Very nice. A special celebration?
Kind of, in that somebody that I work with and have done for a number of years and shared a room with is actually going back to New Zealand at the end of the month forever.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. So you're going to be sending her off in style.
Yes. The two of us are going out for dinner tonight, and then she's got leaving drinks next week.
Oh, wonderful. Well, that sounds lovely. Have a wonderful, wonderful time. It's lovely
Thank you.
that you're both here. Let's make sure that I'm recording. I am, so that should work. Yeah, that should work. Okay, I've changed. I'm on a different setup, so you'll have to kind of bear with me. I'm going to be looking at my phone for some things and
Okay.
my screen for other things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put myself into the center of the screen.
Okay.
Here we go. Fantastic. And yeah, here I am in my little back garden in LA where I stay. And we've got water features. So I don't know if you can hear those, and might get an aeroplane fly over. But I just thought it'd be nice to be outside because, I will be back in England soon, and I know what weather's like in England, so it's quite nice to
It's
come.
very cold.
Yeah. It's like
It's cold in Spain too.
I know.
I'll be back there soon, ladies. Don't worry. But I'm enjoying it. I think it's going to be like 27 degrees today. So
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah.
so it's lovely to have you here. We've got a few things to talk about. I'm going to put you. Would you mind putting yourselves on mute?
Okay.
And I'll put the chat up here, so I'll be able to see if you write anything, and I'll keep an eye for who comes in into the meeting while we're here. There's a few things for us to talk about. One of the things that we did last time is you introduced yourself to the group. You shared your name, where you lived, and what it was that you loved about Oracle cards. And I'd like us to start every gold with that. So just a couple of minutes of you becoming used to talking about yourself, introducing yourself. And as you talk about why you love Oracle cards, beginning to feel more comfortable to talk about that, and also getting used to being on camera and just talking about who you are and what you do. So we'll always start with that, and I'll do that in a moment. I also want to continue to talk about our values. It was wonderful to see what you've written about what it is that Oracle Card Academy means to you. And I want to continue to explore that, because for us to really be clear about what our values are and why we are Oracle Card Academy is something which is really going to help us to communicate with a wider community and to really understand what it is that we're part of, so that we can begin to start sharing that and help other people to understand why we're part of Oracle Card Academy. And I really truly believe that for us to understand our values is something which is going to keep this community really strong and build on the amazing foundations that we've got in place. So I'm going to be talking a little bit more about that, and also talking about what's come up, what's been, as far as I can see, repeated themes. So we'll be talking about that. I also want to focus on a business aspect in every gold meetup that we have, which is something I've talked about before. And I want to continue to explore a theme which we touched on at the end of last year. And that was about what it is that you're solving for your clients. I think it's really easy to get into the habit of, or get used to talking about what you do. This is what I do. This is what I do. And these are the people that I do it with, is a wonderful next step forwards from that. But something that I'd really, really like to help you to understand yourself so that you can communicate clearly is what problem you are solving for your clients. Because when you understand the problem that you're solving for your clients, then you can really speak to that. It's really understanding what it is that keeps your clients awake at night. And it isn't what you do. It isn't the fact that you offer a particular kind of reading. And I want to help you to begin to understand and explore that, so that over a period of time, you get really clear about the problem that you solve. And you can speak to that problem, and people will hear what it is that you can do to help them. What keeps them awake at night? What is it that really troubles them? What is it that causes them pain, if you like? And helping to understand how it is that, helping them to understand and yourself to understand how it is that you can help them with that. Something else which I want to continue to explore and to help you to really understand is your strengths. This is something that for many Oracle Card Academy pioneer women, we touched on in the training. If we didn't touch on it in your training, it's because we explored other areas. But something that I want you to begin to understand is what your strengths are. So these strengths can be innate strengths, in other words, abilities that you were born with. Let me be clearer on that. Strengths can be things that you naturally are and that you may not necessarily value, but they are strengths. They are things which make you strong and enable you to help other people. And when you understand what your strengths are and what you bring, then you're really able to feel more confident about who you are innately, in terms of the way that you were born and what your natural character and disposition is, but also in terms of how it is that you possibly have learned certain skills which provide strength. Because when you understand what you bring to our community, to your work, it really will help you to grow confidence and be able to acknowledge your strengths. It's so important to know aspects of yourself that are strong and valuable, and that just because you are that way, it doesn't mean that other people are. So that's something that I want to help you to explore as well. I also want to touch on the Udemy with Ros course discussion group once again, just to really clarify what it is that the opportunity that you have within that group to post up. And of course, we will have the Special Achievement Award as well. Okay, so there's a number of areas for us to focus on, because I really want to help you personally and I want to help you professionally to move forwards. And I want these meetups to be a valuable use of everybody's time. So what I'd love you to do, Emma was here first. Emma, in a moment, if you could put your microphone on, please, and just say your name, where you live, and why you love Oracle cards. That's all. That would be wonderful. So over to you, Emma.
My name is Imma. I live in Mataró, near Barcelona. It's 30 kilometers on the north of Barcelona, on the coast. So very good weather most of the times. And why do I love Oracle cards? Is because I had an approach with of the angelic guidance thanks to the Oracle cards.
Fantastic.
Though I am evolving that.
Wonderful.
Maybe I felt that the cards helped me so much to trust myself, to trust my intuition.
Great.
Now I'm leaving them a little bit apart because this is my next step, to trust my intuition just with what it is.
Fantastic. So they've been a powerful stepping stone for you, helped you to develop your own intuition, helped you to trust yourself, and now you want to get further also. Thank you so much, Emma. That's perfect and wonderful. If you could switch off your mic, thank you so much for sharing.
Okay.
And hi, Tara. Hello, lovely. What I'd love you to do is to introduce yourself. Fiona, say your name, tell us where you live, and then just very simply explain why you love Oracle cards. So over to you, Fee.
Okay, so hi, I'm Fiona. I live in St Albans, in Hertfordshire in the UK. We do currently have some blue sky, but don't let that fool you. It's freezing out there. So yeah, why do I love Oracle cards? For me, I find that they really help me tap into my gut instinct, and they allow me to access information that perhaps my conscious mind blocks.
Yeah.
And I use them for all different kinds of things. Sometimes I just do a one card reading for myself. Sometimes I do something a bit different. But it just astounds me every time that they're just so accurate.
Mm.
And they just really blow me away.
Yeah.
And most of the time it just make me giggle as well, because I'm like, okay, fine, I knew that. I knew that already.
It's funny when that happens, isn't it? It's like,
Yeah. But it's like, you know, I don't know whether it's my subconscious that's going, no, ignore it, don't let that come in. Whereas the Oracle cards for me just kind of go, here it is, black, white, and a bit of color.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
Highlights it for you, and it just goes that bit deeper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fee. Appreciate that. Hi.
You're welcome.
Hello, lovely. Just to, you missed the first bit. Thank you for being here, by the way. What we're doing in every gold meetup is getting used to introducing ourselves, saying your name, saying where you live, and just beginning to share what it is that you love about Oracle cards. And it's for within this community so others can hear what it is that you love about Oracle cards, and to create a wider conversation around what it is about Oracle cards that just really lights us up and that we enjoy so much. And it's also getting used to speaking and being on camera and just talking about what you do, because the more often you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. So over to you, Tara.
Well, good morning, and I'm sorry that I'm late. I am Tara. I live in Arizona, the United States. And the reason why I love Oracle cards is because it truly does help you kind of refocus your attention on asking the right questions. It focuses your intentions, for one, and then asking the right questions. But I feel like it really kind of, for me, it helps you, like Fiona said, kind of be one with yourself and kind of come back to yourself and learn how to trust your instincts or your intuition. And it really, for me, has brought my connection with spirit and source, whatever you resonate with, it's really made it stronger. It's always been there, but it's stronger now, because I feel like, all right, well, here's my question, and now I'm listening. So it makes it a lot easier to focus for me.
That's
it's a focus thing for me, because I'm all over the place, as I am right now.
I really relate to what you say with regards to it kind of like focusing you. It kind of resets you.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you to really pay attention to what you already know. It provides confirmation. And as Fiona said, you're transcending your logical mind and you're seeing an image, and that really does something which allows you to bypass the objections that your mind can kind of like send out, and goes deeper, and it connects with the truth inside of you. And because it connects in with the truth inside of you, it is your truth.
Right.
Trust that you can develop through that, and then the evidence that you can gain through actually applying what it is that you now understand is something which has its own like set of rewards too. So that's
right.
Fantastic. Thank you.
I love the validation too. It makes me feel good. I'm like, oh yay, okay. When they tell you something you already know, you're like, all right, I got it.
It's interesting that I've heard that a lot now about it tells you something you already know, and that is something which I really understand, and it just underlines things, it highlights things, it removes doubt, it creates that feeling of security and reassurance around what it is that you that you felt was right and true.
Right.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Tara.
Um,
Mike on mute, that would be superb. Hey Laurie, good morning, lovely to see you. So just to share with you what we're doing here, every gold meetup we're going to get used to being on the screen and very simply introduce ourselves by our name, where it is that we live, and why you love oracle cards. That's all, what it is that you love about oracle cards. And the reason for that is so that we can all get used to talking about what it is that we love about oracle cards. It can become much more natural for us, and it's something that we can all benefit from. Because when others talk about what they love about oracle cards, we start to understand what we love about oracle cards more deeply, because it's maybe the same, or it leads you to have an understanding that you can then communicate to others. So if you would, Laurie, if you could come onto the mic, your name, where you live, and why you love oracle cards.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Tara. Hi, Emma. And hi, Fiona. Oh, Fiona, your hair looks different. I didn't recognize you today. And hi, Roz. Sorry I'm late. I just finished with a client a little longer than I expected. We were making joy jars, which was really cool. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. So why I love oracle cards, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating what you guys have said because I did not hear what you said. Maybe it's better that way.
It's good.
It's better that way. I'll just talk from, here. I have come to love oracle cards even more than I thought I would. My original goal was to make my own with my art on them, and a channel has opened to spirit that has surprised me greatly. And I love them because when I work with clients, they don't believe and have trust in their own intuition. And the oracle cards to me open up a gateway of familiarity of symbols and color that allows their judgment part of their brain to fall away and the creative part of their brain to rise. And then all of the connections between the color and the symbols and their own truth, which they carry always anyway, becomes apparent to them, and their face. I taught school for many years, and watching the students' face changes when the light bulb went off, it's the same thing in this experience. So their face changes, their body language changes, and it's like, boom, oh, I've got it. And they're so thrilled that they found that. And the exciting thing is that I just made an oracle card offering on my website, a new page.
Wow, fantastic.
I just posted it in a quiet group first because I'm not quite ready to jump off the cliff into public yet, but I made my own closed group of people that I met on a trip where I taught. So yeah, I'm out there now. Pretty terrifying. But that's why I love oracle cards.
Well, thank you. It's a wonderful step that you've taken to share oracle cards, and the way that you've described what it is that you love about them. It just gives a wonderful perspective and a new angle for people, which is really, really helpful. And the fact that you associate that with your experience in schools, and how when a student really finally understands something, there is like that illumination, there's that light bulb, there's that epiphany, and that's something which is really transformational. So thank you so much for sharing that, Laurie. That's great. So to kind of reiterate what we're saying here, this is every gold meetup. Then what we're going to be doing is getting used to saying your name, saying where you live, and exploring, explaining, speaking the words about why you love oracle cards. And if it's exactly the same as someone else has said, that doesn't matter. But everybody will have a deeper understanding of what it is they love, and therefore how they can explain their love of oracle cards to others. So thank you so much for sharing that, ladies. I really appreciate it. The next thing I'd love us to talk about today is a continued conversation around our values. I posted up in our group a question around values, and we explored it in our last gold meetup. I feel that it's really important and extremely positive, and will be the glue quite frankly, that holds the Oracle Card Academy together and helps you to understand why you are part of this is our values, why we are Oracle Card Academy. And when I looked through all of the comments that I'd seen posted up in the group, there seemed to me to be a really common theme. And that wonderful common theme was something which was about community, something which was about safety, something which was about empowerment, and also tools. And our values and what it is that we love about Oracle Card Academy is something which I want to continue to explore and have a conversation around, because this will become our vision statement. This will become our mission statement. This will become a real clear expression of what we represent, what we offer, and what we stand for. So I really encourage everybody to continue to think about what it is that they consider their values, what Oracle Card Academy means to them, and what it is that Oracle Card Academy represents and that they are part of through being Oracle Card Academy. So I'm going to continue that conversation. I'm going to be putting more posts up in our group. I'll be doing a video in our group as well to continue to explore that, because it really is the glue that holds us all together. Now, as an extension of that, and something which I felt might help all of us on a personal level to understand what makes our part in Oracle Card Academy so valuable, and also will contribute to you understanding perhaps more widely what the values are of Oracle Card Academy, is what your strengths are. When you understand what your personal strengths are, not only do you feel much more confident about who you are and much clearer about what you bring, you're able to begin to bring that through into your work. It gives you personal confidence, and it also gives you an appreciation of yourself, understanding your own value. And this isn't, again, something which has to be exclusive or unique. It's about knowing one thing which you bring, which you are, which may be innate, in other words, come completely naturally to you, that you were born with, or a skill that you've acquired. I want to give you an example of strengths so that we can explore this. And if anything comes to you as I'm talking about this, please put up in the chat. And if you would like to talk about this, then raise your hand or put a little note in the chat, and I'd love to bring you on. Some examples of your strengths might be something like empathy. Empathy is a strength. If you've had experiences in your life which give you an understanding of how someone else might feel, then that provides you with a real powerful connection, not through theory, not through something that you've read, but through something which has happened to you. And empathy is valuable. And empathy, which is something which will help you to really identify, or for your clients to really, hold on a minute, there's a big truck going past. Can you hear it? It's quite noisy. Just to give you an idea as to my locate, well, you know I'm in Los Angeles, but I'm in West Hollywood, just so you know. So I am between two big main streets, Melrose and Santa Monica Boulevard. So it's relatively quiet, but you do get noise come past sometimes. Okay, we're back. The truck has gone past. So back to what I was saying about your values. This is for you. Your strengths. This is for you, because I don't think that we spend time thinking about our strengths, what makes us who we are, and how that is valuable, particularly with innate strengths. So what you're born with. Another strength might be sensitivity. Another strength might be acceptance or listening. Another strength might be that you're someone who is motivational, that you're someone who is empowering. And this is for you to really begin to explore and understand and begin to identify with. It helps you to understand and become more confident about what you bring. And it also helps you to amplify that and to understand that that is something that other people can really, really benefit from. Okay. Oh, if you understand, you can just hear lots of birds. That's nice. I'm happy you can hear lots of birds. So, does anyone have anything to say to strengths, whether it be innate strengths? Don't be shy. We're going to explore this. This isn't about, saying things and being judged or feeling judged. It's beginning to explore who you are, perhaps naturally, or what it is that you've learned that you feel is a strength, something that is valuable and that you offer. And when I started to explore this before we spoke today, I kind of had an idea of, or a vision of, everyone in the Oracle Card Academy, like having like a sort of avatar that is that strength, that is that quality. And there may be some that are the same, and I'm not going to create like little cartoons of everybody, but I really want you to think about yourself in that way. Just one thing that creates a strength. So who would like to begin speaking about innate strengths or strengths which you have acquired, things which you consider to be valuable, that you offer, that you just are? Who would like to start the ball rolling on that? Yay, Laurie. Oh, Laurie and then Emma. So Laurie, if you could come on first, that'd be great.
I was in the Great White North, so I don't have green bushes behind me. I have tons of snow out the window that you can't see. So the birds I'm thrilled to hear, because we can't hear any right now. They're all hiding in the trees, staying warm. Anyway, so part of an experience that I had recently was teaching in Mexico, as I said. And just organically, I started to read oracle cards to the ladies. It was a retreat of nearly 20 women. And we all sat by the pool one afternoon, and organically I did 16 readings. People just kept coming. And I asked them, I said, tell me what drew you to me to do this? Because I wanted to understand, what was this gift that was emerging? What was happening? And the biggest thing they said was that I held safe space for them, and that they felt that they weren't being judged by what they were going to say. They felt that they could say anything, and that they would be led to their truth, but be held while they were led. So that was something that was really nice to hear. I used to do it with my students, but to do it with adults and other women, I do it with friends, but to do it with people I hardly know, I didn't realize I could do. So
thank you. That's great. And I can certainly, I agree, because that's something that I've experienced with you through your training and at other times. And hearing that back, was that something which you personally considered to be valuable? When you think about your experience of life, did that feel good to you because it was something that you wanted to be and something that was personally important to you to experience at other points in your life through other people?
Myself experience it or give it to other people?
Both, because when someone says to you, you hold a safe space, that feels good to you, and you've asked the question, which was so wonderful to do, so that you can understand what people see in you that drew them to you. But when you think about your own life and you think about what someone who offers a safe space means to you, is that something that feels valuable to you? Is that something that you're so happy that you're able to be for others?
Yes, because I think it builds a sense of trust, which allows you to go deeper than you would normally go, sort of allows you to feel safe enough to dig deep into the areas that perhaps you're uncomfortable digging into, that maybe you judge yourself, but you know that the person sitting across from you won't judge you, and therefore you feel safe enough to share even with yourself and therefore with her. So yeah, I mean, people holding space for me has been something I have respected and loved, because it built trust and allowed me to grow.
Wonderful. That's absolutely.
I worked with Roz for a long time, and you were magical at that. That's one of your superpowers, is to hold safe space. So, and it allowed me to find connections inside myself that I normally wouldn't have found on my own. So
thank you for saying that. And the way that I receive that is that it feels good to me to know that that is something that you've experienced throughout time. And just to explain that a little more, I feel that that is extra valuable because when I grew up, I didn't feel that I grew up in a safe space, and I always wanted to offer others a safe space. I understand how much you can open up and relax and be yourself when you feel that acceptance and that safety to be you, and how that is such a fertile growth environment. So that's absolutely incredible to hear. Thank you so much. And we'll explore this some more, but what I'd like this to do is just to open up an inquiry inside of yourself so that you start to understand what it is that you bring, what it is that you offer, and you may choose to communicate that through your website, through the way that you share yourself with the world, because these are things which you just are givens. They're things which you maybe dismiss about yourself or don't consider to be things, or they're assumptions that you make around, well, that's just the way that I am. But when you can really explain to people who don't know you what it is that you consider your strengths to be and what you offer, that really speaks. That speaks in a really, really powerful and a really, really aligned way. People hear that. Thank you so much, Laurie. Emma, you were waving your hand. So fantastic. Would you like to come and put your mic on and share with us what you consider your strengths to be?
Yes. One of my strengths is like you, Rose, that we have in our guardian angel on the core band, that is in a green color. It's being a natural healer. You know, when it comes a situation that it's irritant, that you may be punished, you may feel very angry or hurt, or the ability of transforming that situation in a something valuable, like the pearl inside the shell. Doing that, this ability of forgiveness and transforming. And then I came to the realization of, okay, this happened to me because I had to do this work of putting all making the pearl and then offering the pearl to the world. So if anyone is in that situation, can do the same and can do that with their own situations. I think I quite understood why many things happened to me, because I had to arrive to that point of understanding and encourage people to do the same.
That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, Emma. And I can really relate to what you say there. And I can really understand that through natural healing, that's your focus. That's something that you're interested in helping other people to experience through their time with you. And that may be something which you just consider to be a given. It's something which you may just consider to be something that you just do. But if you can really communicate that to people, it speaks so much more clearly, in so much more of an aligned way. I'm a natural healer. I'm interested in helping you to understand the pearl, not just to understand how the pearl is formed, but to offer that pearl. And as we talk about these areas of strength, we begin to understand them and we can share them, and they develop your own self-confidence, but they also help you to relate to your clients, to explain a little more about who you are and what you do, which can really connect with people. And this conversation is something that we're just going to continue to explore and talk about. Now, with Fiona and Tara, is there anything that you can contribute to this conversation around strengths? Who'd like to go first? Tara, would you like to go first? Yeah, Tara's reluctantly saying yes, but yeah, please do. And we're just having a conversation around this because it's exactly the same as the participation aspect of the Oracle Card Academy method. As we begin to communicate and discuss and explore and talk about this, we understand it more. So well done, ladies. I'm really impressed with how you are open to this. It's fantastic. So Tara.
Okay, wow. I hate talking about myself, but the one thing I am good at, or one of my special traits, is that I am ridiculously optimistic.
Oh,
It's really true. Like, I feel like it's I don't know. I didn't grow up in a safe space. And so instead of being a miserable kid and growing up being a miserable adult, I had to do a lot of mental reframing and think about things in a more expanded way, which gave me a lot more option. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that sucks. But there's always a but. Like, you can do it this way. Okay, well, all right, that sucked, but how can I fix that? So it has made me a very optimistic person, and I think that's one of my better traits, I think. So when people come to me, that's part of the thing, is that we work on reframing and unpacking and fixing and thinking about things in a better way. So
I love that.
that's my thing.
I'd really encourage everybody to listen back to this. Listen back to what they have said and write it down, and listen back to what others have said and pay attention. Because do you see how this is helping you to understand what your strengths are, what it is that you bring, and that you can communicate that to people in a way which will help them to trust and understand you and know that you are the person, you're their person. Because being ridiculously optimistic is something which I 100% understand and relate to. It's like I didn't come with like the factory settings. I also came from an environment which was challenging, and I remember distinctly choosing, right, I'm either going to kind of like go along this line and accept what is and become a victim, or I'm going to change it about and I'm going to make it into something which empowers me and is positive for me. And you sharing a little of what it is that through your own experience has brought you to be the ridiculous optimistic, the optimistic oracle, really does begin to explain in a much clearer way how you can help and why. Because it's your why that people want to hear. Of course, it's your authority. Empathy is important. It's important that people understand that you get it, that you get them. But you must also be an authority. You must also, and well, I want to just be clear about that. I don't mean an authority. I don't mean someone that knows everything. I don't mean someone that has to have all the answers. But you have to understand that you can communicate to the people that you're here to help why it is that you're passionate about helping them, that you understand where they're at, and how it is that you have solved that problem that created an issue for you in your life that became the pearl, as Emma put it. Tara, that's superb, and I would love you to thank you for coming on. I'm you in terms of I get really nervous about speaking up on camera. Like when I know that my turn's coming up, you know, my heart's beating. Fiona might be getting that now because you know your turn's coming and your heart starts beating and your mouth goes dry. And the only way that we get through that is to just keep doing it, keep doing it. And this is a safe space. There is safety here and we can practice. And I'm so impressed with you sharing that. And it's also something which I consider to be extremely endearing. And I don't mean that in a patronizing way, but because I can be nervous. I love seeing it in others because I think you are so brave. You're doing it even though you're scared. It shows that you are stepping into your bravery zone. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it, Tara. Fiona, heart beating, my turn. Can you come on? Oh, and just to finish what I was saying with Tara, get used to talking about strengths. I don't want to kind of like say too much about this, but I did notice that you found it quite difficult to say your strengths. Your special thing was something that you mentioned. So see if you can use the word strengths next time, because they really are strengths. They really, really are. And it's for you to see them. Fiona, would you share something with us of your strengths, what you consider your strength to be?
There are so many. Where do I start?
I don't know, at the beginning.
That actually hurts in the ear. I actually think one of my strengths is probably the ability to make people laugh.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that then has the effect of relaxing them slightly.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And that's you. That's who you are. That's what makes you Fiona on so many levels. And talking about that, knowing that that's a strength and communicating that and being that, it's an acceptance of self, and it's understanding what's valuable, and it's understanding who you are and letting yourself be that.
Yeah, it's taken a while.
Yeah. Listen, all working.
Yeah.
We are all work in progress, but the more that we talk about this and the more that we hear ourselves talk about our strength, then the more we encourage each other to do the same and to acknowledge ourselves in that way and to share that and to be that.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a strength of yours. Thank you so much, Fiona.
Welcome.
I want to thank everybody for that. And we're going to continue with this. I want everyone to get used to talking about their strengths, to feel comfortable with it, to accept it. It's not bragging. It's not showing off. It's not trying to be better than other people. It's not competitive. It's creative. It's sharing. It's acknowledging what it is that is a strength in you that you offer to the world. It helps you to understand how you can help other people, because I bet you any money you like that all of you are absolutely awesome at seeing other people's strengths. And now it's time for you to start seeing your own and to value it and to enjoy it and to be it. And I know that it's not easy, but that doesn't mean that we don't do it. It means that we just take little baby steps, one bit at a time, and we start to really understand who we are. Laurie, yeah. Yeah.
I think it would help me. I can't speak for the other ladies. Can you share your strengths, Roz, and tell us what you mean? Can you do that?
Okay. Laurie calls me out. Look at everyone clapping. My strengths are optimism. My strengths are positivity. I consider my strengths to be empathy, sensitivity, and I consider my strength to be gentleness. I used to consider gentleness to be something that was not enough. Like when I see myself in certain situations, if I'm on stage or if I'm in certain meetings, I'm not loud, I'm not demanding, I don't speak over people, I don't barge in with my elbows out like this. I listen and I'm quiet and I'm gentle, and I really believe that that is what brings the best out in people. Not forcing people to do things, not telling people what to do, but being gentle and nurturing that from inside of themselves. So there's some of what I consider my strengths to be. Do you concur? Do you see those things in me? Do they resonate for you?
Absolutely. I would summarize a lot of that as grace.
That's a nice thing to say.
One of the terms I use is grounded grace. I think you represent grounded grace to me, among many other things, but absolutely.
That's a really wonderful thing to hear. Someone said to me once, I was in quite a challenging situation, and someone said to me that I'd handled it with grace and dignity, and I think that that must be the biggest compliment that I've ever been paid, because you're taught when you grow up to be louder, you know, that's how you get noticed, that's how you make progress. And it's never felt right to me. I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm driven, but I'm not someone that shouts about it, and I'm not someone that is evangelical or forceful. I'm gentle. And grace, thank you very much, grounded grace. I enjoy that. Thank you. I'll take that into my heart. Thank you for calling me out, Laurie. Look at everyone. Everyone was like, they couldn't believe it. Thank you very much. Okay, we're coming to the end of our time now. And there are two things that I would like to finish on. The first thing that I'd like to reiterate is something which I have communicated before. Everybody that's a gold graduate has an opportunity to share a weekly post in the Oracle Card, Udemy with Roz course discussion group. It's a great opportunity for you. A weekly post where you can connect with that community, with that audience, and to help them get to know a bit about what you are about. An educational post, an Oracle Card post. Fiona does one on a Wednesday. Tara does one. Is it Sunday, Tara, that you put yours up, isn't it? Yeah. I think Donna does one on a Monday. They're regular posts that go up, and the community really enjoy them. And it's really good to share something, to road test it, to get used to how people respond to it, to engage with a bigger audience. And so that is an opportunity that every Gold graduate has. Now, you don't have to do this, but I would encourage you to think about what it is that you want to share. And when you understand what you want to share with your community, then to really just take that opportunity to share it with the Udemy with Roz course discussion group. It means that you're able to help people, that you're able to get your content out there more widely, and you become an active member of that group, and you become someone who people really can look forward to and get to know a little more. So if you would like to put up a post on a weekly basis, then please send me an email link of an example of that from your Facebook page, so that I can take a look at that and I can give you access to a pre-approved access to the group. And the additional thing that I wanted to add to that is I feel that it would be really helpful if you put a link in the bottom of that post to your profile page, on Oracle Card Academy website. If you go to your page, you'll see there's an HTTP link. Now, the reason for that is because within the group, I can't highlight Oracle Card Academy Gold women. I can't give you that badge. I can give you a badge which is like conversation starter, or they get actually allocated. But this gives people an understanding of who you are, that you're an Oracle Card Academy Gold graduate, and this is what you do. And just the other day, Debs doesn't actually share a post in the group, but I've heard from a number of you that you're starting to get bookings for people that come to the OCA website and they explore you and they find out what you're about and they book. And part of the reason that they book is because you're part of the Oracle Card Academy. Yes, of course, if you've got your own website, you'll have your own audience and people will be finding you through your own website. But it just gives you that little bit extra credibility. Roz trained me. I'm an Oracle Card Academy Gold student. They click to your website and they book the readings with you. It's not as though, it's something which I don't interfere with that process. But I would really encourage you to put a little link in the bottom to your profile page so that people can read more about what it is that you do. So that's the other thing I wanted to say. And finally, with 3% battery left on my my laptop here, let's hope it holds out. This is the really special part of our meetup where I share a Special Achievement Award. Special Achievement Awards are awarded on a monthly basis. They're something which I take seriously. They're something which I invest from my own pocket. It's a lovely token of appreciation and encouragement for an Oracle Card Academy student who has done something above and beyond, who has done something which has really stood out as helping others, maybe sharing themselves in a braver way, something which just stands out. And this month's Special Achievement Award goes to Fiona. And the reason that it goes, yay, exactly. And it goes to Fiona because I mentioned a few weeks ago that I would really love it if I could have a volunteer or some volunteers to be part of the Udemy with Roz course discussion group and just engage in there and post some things up and get conversations started, because it's a really lovely, lovely group. And Fiona just stepped right up and started to post up all different types of things. What's your angel name, to create engagement, as well as her own posts, which she puts up there on a weekly basis. And it's not just what Fiona does, it's how she's done it. She's been highlighting to me when people have asked questions. She's been really engaging with everybody who has commented on her posts. And I've really seen how her posts have become so much more popular and so much more interactive. And she's providing something of real inspiration to me and to our community and within our group. So Fiona, this Special Achievement Award for March goes to you, and it is my absolute pleasure to ask you if you would like to have a wonderful gift from me for your mind, body and soul, and if, or mind, body or soul, and if you let me know what that is, then I can organise that for you. Really well done, and thank you. Thank you so, so much. You women are incredible. The computer's held out. I have 1% left. Thank you for being here. I will be sending a recording when I get back to the UK. And think about your strengths, because it's for you and it's also going to be your ability to help others. I wish you a wonderful rest of day or evening, and I will look forward to being with you again very soon. Bye guys. Lots of love. Bye.